Dang.
Seems like it's forever. Seems like forever. Well, listen, it's 7 o'clock, so I know that we have the rooms are actually breaking out now, but are we clear to go ahead and get started? Awesome. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another amazing Monday. I'm excited to see everybody's faces here today. We are about to get started with today's meeting. I am the Sergeant at Arms, and we are Morgan State University Toastmasters Club. So, welcome. We welcome all returning members and also guests. Before we get started with the meeting, I have a couple housekeeping rules. If you are not speaking, we ask that you keep your line on mute. And also, we want to see everybody's camera and on so we can see your faces. But if you have to walk around, we do ask that you cut off your camera. That way, there's no visual distractions either. But again, because this is Morgan State University Toastmasters Group, and we are club number 979269. And I hope you guys are excited. This is one of the best Toastmasters in the country. So if this is your first time, you guys are in for a treat. We have an amazing lineup of people that will be sharing with us today. So just sit back, get ready, and be excited. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to our amazing president, Mr. Tasha Brown. Ms. Brown, are you there?
I am here and I'm so excited, y'all. Like, I'm bursting with excitement. I'm so serious because we are live on YouTube. Okay, can we clap it up for us being live on YouTube? We have dropped the link to our YouTube live into our Facebook chat so our friends can join us on YouTube and be able to share with their people who are not on Facebook. Who's not on Facebook? I don't even know. But the people to come are going to be like, Facebook who? So now we have YouTube, and YouTube University is not going anywhere. So I'm so happy to say that we have done that on today. And thank you so much for that wonderful introduction and everyone for being here this evening. Let's see. I'm launching a poll to see how you all feel today. How you doing? Fantastic, great, good, okay. Not the best, but you made it. And if you feel like that, please let us know for real. We have breakout rooms and people available that can take a moment to connect with you or just to sit with you so that you can be amazing as we want you to be this evening. So just drop somebody a chat, me, anybody, and we can do that. All right? But it looks like we have fantastic, great, good, and okay in the house. So we are off to an amazing start. I am going to, well, first, we have some visitors in the house. Is there anyone who would like to come off mute, introduce themselves, tell us what brings you here today? And if not, we definitely have an opportunity towards the end of the meeting for you to do so as well once you get your feet wet.
Hi, it's Robin Joins. How are you?
Hey, Robin.
Hi. I don't have my camera on because, again, I'm still getting used to signing in to you guys at this time of the evening, so I'm not prepared for a camera. But I'm so excited to be here again after it's been a couple of years. So I thank you, Natasha, for sending me the link and including me on this evening's Toastmaster meeting. So thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for being with us today. I'm glad that you chose to be here this evening. Camera on or off. I love it. All right. Thank you so much, Robin. Is there anyone else I'd like to share? That was awesome. I'm not calling anybody out. I'm just asking. Okay. So we do have, like I said, an opportunity towards the end of the meeting for you to connect with us. Let us know how you enjoyed the meeting and if you will be returning. But if you maybe you just popped in today because you saw a random link, but I want to let you know what we do here at Toastmasters. Here at Toastmasters, we provide a safe and comfortable environment for you to learn and grow in your communication and leadership skills. Our environment and experience is supportive to allow for you to grow in the ways that you came here for, whether you want to be a speaker professionally or whether you just want to be able to speak more confidently in your day to day. Again, welcome, and I'm going to go ahead and turn our meeting over to our Toastmaster of the evening, Mrs. Eva Colbert.
Good evening, good evening, good evening. I hope all is well. I'm glad you all could join us. Glad to see your face in the place. I am your Toastmaster for tonight. And for a theme, this quote was sent to me today, the first thing I opened my email. So I will use this as a theme. I only just have a minute. Only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me. Can't refuse it. Didn't seek it. Did not choose it. But it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it. Give account if I abuse it. Just a little minute, but an eternity is in it. Author Dr. Benjamin Mays. When you speak or when you think of something that you only just have a minute, what would it be for you? Think about that. If you only had just 1 minute, 60 seconds, what would you do in it? Tonight, I'm very excited. We have some guests on. Hi, Robin. I'm glad you're with us. I do remember you, smiling face. Before I get started, I am going to turn it over to our arcana and grammarian. Miss Rose, will you unmute and give us a description of your task for tonight?
Good evening, everybody. I have 1 minute. With that minute, I'm going to take everything in and just reevaluate the past. That is my minute. My role tonight is the odd counter and grammarian. I'm going to read the odd counter's role. The purpose of the odd counter is to note any word or sound used as a crutch by anyone who speaks during the meeting. Words may be inappropriate, objections, or interjections, such as and, well, but, so, and, you know. Sounds may be or You should also note when a speaker repeats a word or phrase such as I, or this means, this means. These words and sounds may be annoying to listeners. The odd counter role is an excellent opportunity to practice your listening skills. I also play the role as a grammarian, and I will pay attention to your subject-verb agreements. The subjects and verbs must agree with each other. I'm going to be taking note of everybody's grammar and filler words, and I will let you know at the end of the meeting how you did. And also, the word of the day, I typed it into the chat, is called esoteric. It is an adjective. The definition is designed for or understood by those with specific knowledge or training. I'll use this word in a sentence. The judge's decisions were difficult to understand because they were loaded with esoteric legal terminology. So the word of the day is esoteric. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Rose. And when you hear that word of the day, you can knock or put it knock knock in the chat. Thank you, Miss Rose. Next, we will have our timer. We have to try to stay on time when we're giving speeches and speaking. And to do that for us will be Miss Angela Hamlin. Will you unmute and give us your description of your task? Thank you. Miss Angela?
And we also have, I will be turning. Can you hear me okay?
It's a little staticky.
I'm so sorry. I am, just to give you a little heads up, I am on the road.
Okay, so I can hear you.
I'm on the road and I'm doing to try to get the best signal I can get. So I'm using my headset.
Okay.
So prayerfully you guys can hear me. We have two speeches, and for those two speeches, there's 5 minutes, 5 to 7 minutes. And with the 5 to 7 minutes, on the minute of five, first I want to talk about the theme, which is Black History Month. So that's the thing I want to think about when we think about the time. This is February, so we're celebrating. I'm going to hold up the green, which is the celebration. We're celebrating Black history. Okay, and then at the 6 minute mark, I'm going to hold up the yellow. This yellow is Kodak. In our time of this month, and always we should take a minute to capture the moments with the Kodak. Take a picture, capture the moment. Okay, and then for the red, I will put this up at 7 minutes, which is a journal. In this month, let's journal about our Black history. Let's take a mental note and a handwritten note about how we celebrated this month. So again, at 5 minutes, we have the celebration, which is green. 6 minutes, we have the yellow Kodak moment, capture the moment. And then for the 7 minute mark, I'm going to do the red. That's the journal to journal our history. And then for the table topics, it's 1 to 2 minutes. The same thing at 1 minute is the green. 1 minute and 30 seconds is yellow, and 2 minutes will be the red. And for the evaluators, 3 minutes. So at 2 minutes, green. 2.5 minutes, it would be yellow, and at 3 minutes, it would be the red. So let's stay on target, let's stay on task, and let's be on time. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Miss Angela. That was awesome. We have two great speakers this evening. The first one will be Mr. Ryan Dunstan. The title of Ryan's speech is called Energy. The most interesting thing about energy is it cannot be created nor destroyed, but only changed from one form to another. This is Ryan's title and just a little intro. Mr. Ryan, unmute yourself and start your speech, please. Thank you.
Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Ryan Dunstan. As you know, energy came to me in a unique time and space for me to evaluate my own energy. And through that process, I had begun to find some revelations that helped me along the way. And what was stated is exactly true. The most interesting thing that I found was that energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Energy for me can be converted from one to another in various ways. One definition describes it as a property of matter and radiation, which is manifested as a capacity to perform work, such as causing motion or interaction of molecules. Another definition defines it as strength, vitality required to sustain physical and mental activity, which when you think about it is also a degree of level or a level of energy already possessed by someone or something, which also pulled me in further. Thinking energy in the process of transfer from one body to another is always designated according to the nature. In other words, energy is needed and can be affected by almost anything. Hence, that colloquialism, energy is transferable. Thinking about transferable energy within the confines of business, I found is a necessity. I'm in real estate. I'm a loan officer. So there is a level of fear and anxiety all over the place. And I'm sure you could probably say the same for your profession. Because energy can be created, because energy cannot be created nor destroyed, you must reevaluate your own energy for proper perspective in intense moments. Our business is forever changing and plagued with anxiety, as I mentioned, fear and uncertainty, which means in some cases, energy that is transferred from one person to another could be fear, could be anger, could be frustration, could be depression. This really makes me think. When negative energy is transferred, I must ask myself a few questions here. Because if energy cannot be created nor destroyed, was I already struggling with what was transferred? Was I already battling with anger, fear, depression? And did that transfer act as a trigger? A trigger. If I'm struggling with these things, how long did I bury these issues? Now that I think about it, I mean, someone did tell me that, you know, problems don't just die. We bury them and they become rooted issues. Rooted issues, self-reflection. This is where energy is really starting to make me think. What's the point of it all? Do I need to make a few changes in myself because of my childhood? I mean, I am a planted seed by Father, of course. I should be able to bring the light, right? If I'm a planted seed, and sometimes even though it seems I'm buried, what could be covering my light? Is it soil, not dirt? I didn't use the word dirt on purpose. It was intentional, only because it makes it hard to see sometimes when you're underneath it. Planted though, not buried. Remembering that could help me maintain a positive perspective on where I am in intense moments. But where did my flame go? And why did it go out? How long had it been out? Because I should be able to transfer positive energies if I'm perfectly and wonderfully made. What's really going on with my own energy? What I will say is this. This isn't about knowing all of the answers. My time with you today is just simply to get you to take another reevaluating look at yourself, your energy, your surrounding circumstances, what's going on around you, and what had been going on around you up until that point. Because let's be honest, I mean, if you never ask yourself what's wrong with me or am I okay, then you'll never attempt to find the solutions to the answers of the questions, or you'll never really get a chance to see how far out those roots extend, because you could be bleeding on someone unknowingly. If you figured out how to live and survive and thrive through what may be throwing your energy off, then it could be a long walk back to where you need to be. And the longer you go, the further you're going to have to come back. So if you find yourself transferring negative energy when you're perfectly and wonderfully made, it doesn't necessarily mean that it had been transferred. It could just mean that you have some rooted issues that you need to pay attention to. If you're healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, and negative energy is transferred, you can convert that into positive. I have to repeat, you can convert any energy that comes to you, but you also have to transfer it back. That's where you become the difference maker. If you're healthy, then transferring these energies into positive, if negative is in fact transferred to begin with, that right there is where you really begin to affect things, right? That is where you begin to be a problem solver. People start to look at you as solution oriented. That's where people begin to see how much of a leader you are. But that word leader, there's a cross to bear. And it's hard sometimes to bear that cross. That cross is heavy. We don't talk about how heavy that cross is when we're carrying it. And we also don't talk about how we're supposed to carry it. There's a way, and whys matter. So why you have to carry it a certain way is very important. But if you don't take your time with this cross and figure out how to carry it, when to pick it up and where to carry it to, then you take intentionality out of the entire thing. And I promise you this, if you keep going while simultaneously paying attention to who you are and what your triggers are, I guarantee you, you're going to love who you become. But more importantly, you're going to love the impact that you make. Ryan.
Great job, Ryan.
Thank you, Ryan. Awesome.
Awesome job.
Awesome job, Ryan. Let's give him snaps. That was good energy that you sent our way, and we do thank you for that energy. Ryan, did you want to comment on the theme for today? I only have a minute, 60 seconds.
I only have a minute.
Just a minute. That's all you have.
I only want to say, love yourself, right? But understand what that truly means, because there are portions of yourself that you do not like, but that you will have to learn how to nurture and care for so that you can change yourself.
Thank you, sir. All right. The next speaker that we have coming up will be none other than Mr. Olio Samuels. Now, Olio is going to be participating in our speech contest. So this is a preparation speech that he will be given tonight. And the title of his speech is Building the Railroad to Your Dream. Let's hear Mr. Olio Samuels. Take it away.
All right. Great evening, everyone. Make sure y'all can hear me. Sure you can see me. All right, let's take it away.
Got you.
You can hear me? You good? There's no passion to be found playing small and settling for a life than one that you're less capable of living. Nelson Mandela. Many people, when they face rejection, tragedies, when they're facing storms in life, right, different conflict, they usually want to give up on their dreams. So today I'm going to give you 3 steps that you can take to help you build the railroad of your dreams. Step number 1 is plant your seeds. Okay, so when you're planting your seeds to your dreams, 1, you have to know exactly what are your dreams. What are those things that you really want to go on? When you're planting your seeds, you got to understand that your thoughts can be as seeds, like your mind is likened to a garden, right? So that can help manifest your dreams. But you have to mind your thoughts, because that mind can actually manifest whatever you put into it, right? So different things can be your emotions, right? It can be negativity. It can be happiness, joy, faith, doubt, worry. These different things that you actually plant are your seeds. So you have to be mindful of what it is that you're planting. And understand this, whatever that you have in your hand, that is your harvest. Whatever you let go is your seed. You ever heard people say things like, oh man, money is tight? It's because they're holding on so tight. You got to loose it. You got to let it go so you can allow your hands to have more energy to flow, and then you can have more in abundance. Okay. So the second thing I want people to understand is when you start manifesting your dreams, you have to ask yourself, what are you becoming? When you ask yourself, what are you becoming? You have to understand that the person that you become in pursuit of the goals and dreams that you have is more important a lot of times than the actual goal itself, right? So I remember myself, I was working at John Hopkins. I was working 3 jobs, all right? I was a double major in school. I'm doing catering. I'm working about 16 hours a day. I'm working in the hospital at the same time. And I was a job recruiter. And literally, I was just tired because I was taking care of a grandmother that was brain dead and my mother that didn't have a job. And I was, doing different things on the streets. And I would be literally working for 16 to 20 hours and sleeping 4 hours because I had school at the same time. And my eyes were bloodshot red one day. And I'm at work and I'm tired, so I'm moving a little bit around. And my supervisor, she wrote me up and she said, you know what? I believe that, she might have been racist, but she said, I'm writing you up for smoking weed. Now, keep in mind, I had never smoked weed. I was tired. My eyes were red, but she wrote me up because she said, you're high. And no one listened to my side of the story. And then I wanted to take, because during this time, I wanted to take off of work so that I could actually be off of work for school. And I actually did. I couldn't take off because she said, if you take off, you might lose your job. And I thought that was like injustice. And so I talked to the director and I told him what was going on. I'm crying, I'm mad. I'm like, why would she even say these things? I'm not smoking. I try to do the right things. And he said this, I'll never forget it. He said, you're putting too much energy into this. He said, focus on what your passions are and I'll back you 100%. Because I'm the director, I'm in charge, nothing they say can undermine that. So that day was what's called a life-defining moment. The day when you say enough is enough. I decided that day I would never let others' opinion of me control my emotions, right? I wanted to travel around the world. There were things that I always wanted to do that I felt like I wasn't doing. So I told myself, this is it, okay? Now, I started reading books. I started learning how to develop myself. I started becoming an entrepreneur and doing different things. And most people, they like to feel like they're the kings and queens of their comfort zones. But if you're not growing, you're dying. So start trusting yourself. As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So step 3, ask yourself, are you acting on the plans of your vision? Keep your word. Stay committed to your commitments. Establish a network of people that you can count on for sound counsel. Focus on what's more effective versus who's right or wrong and what's good or bad. Be positive, right? And you just got to be to the point where act in spite of fear. Many people just let fear just hold them back. And here's what I want you to understand. When you start building railroads, sometimes you need to learn from the best builder of a railroad that was ever built, Harriet Tubman. When speaking of these things, Harriet Tubman, she built relationships, okay? She stayed committed to her dreams and then had courage in spite of being whipped, being beaten, being enslaved. See, fear is a choice. Danger is real. See, she acted in spite of danger. She had a plan. She planted seeds of good faith. And she was like a tour guide versus a travel agent. She showed people the way versus just telling them where to go. Leadership versus just the boss mentality, right? She was being selfless. She said, I freed 1,000 slaves. And I could have freed 1,000 more if they knew they were slaves. Mindset, mental slavery. Here's Bob Marley says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Well, mental slavery. How much time have you been spending working on yourself? Building your railroad, relationships, the partnerships, the self-reflection, value to others. Fear kills more dreams than anything. So with growth, have affinity, faith, hope, and equanimity, strength and sagacity, and steady, bold pertinacity. And have an attitude and say to yourself, I will build, I will fight. This land is mine, this is my right. Again, I will build, I will fight. This land is mine, this is my right. Build the road. Build your destination. Build your dreams. And build the road to your railroad. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Boy, you gonna get that trophy now. Let's give him some kudos. If you can clap, just snap for Olio. That was awesome, amazing. You did a great job. And I think you're on the road to getting us some hardware, as Tyrone would say. Thank you so much. We appreciate both of you guys for giving us the best that you have. Excellent job. Wow. Would you like to elaborate on I only have just a minute?
Yeah, so do I say, I forgot, do I just say what I have a minute to do?
Yes, what something that you may be forced in a minute to do, or something that you didn't do and only have a minute to do in your lifetime.
I have 1 minute for my life. Life could be over in a minute. Life can start in a minute. One of the biggest days of your life is when you figure out what's your purpose and why. And so with that minute, when I say that, I have 1 minute to come alive and be myself and to get uncomfortable. And as long as I continue being myself and keep getting uncomfortable, then I can live life.
Thank you. Wow, awesome. Because if you look at it, all of us only have just a minute or maybe less. Thank you so much, Mr. Olio. Woo, awesome speeches. Men, you're doing it up. You're doing it up, I must say. Now we come to the part where is Dr. Reeves on board yet?
Dom is going to be table topics.
Dom, all righty. Dom will do our table topics. I will turn it over to Dom.
Thank you, Toastmasters, Sister Eva today. Thank you so much for that, man. You guys, Ryan, Olio, man, awesome job, man. Hats off to you guys. Awesome job today. Really,
Thank you,
really.
sir.
And far as the thing for today, far as time is precious. So you don't have any time to waste time. You know, so whatever God has called you to do, every second that you're not doing that, you're wasting while you're even here. You know, so don't waste any more time as of right now doing something you're not called to do. Today, guys, I'm looking for about 4 to 5 volunteers that's willing to participate. So my theme today for table topics is, I know that it's Black History Month, so I've chosen some quotes and some songs that I'm going to reference, you know, of some famous people, and I want you guys to elaborate off of that. So for today, for table topics, the whole idea is that I'm going to share a quote or a song with you guys, and from there you have 1 to 2 minutes to elaborate on what was given. So if I can get about 4 to 5 volunteers, please, that'd be great. Also, too, if there's any visitors, we would love for you guys to participate. This is like the best time as a visitor to participate as well. But so far, I have Miss Juliet Jones, I have Miss Payne, I have Ryan, and I have Mr. Tyrone. All right, is there anybody else?
I'll participate. King.
Who's that? King? Mr. King?
King.
Awesome,
Yes.
awesome. Well, listen, let's go. And I'm going to start with one of the ladies first. I'm going to start with Miss Julia Jones, since she volunteered first. So I'm going to read this quote from a song. Now, these are random quotes from songs and poems and whatever it may be, and you elaborate on it. So the first quote is, I'm not scared of lions and tigers and bears, but I'm scared of loving you. Jasmine Sullivan. So Miss Juliet Jones, go.
I'm not scared of lions, tigers, or bears. And what is the second part of that? I apologize.
I'm not scared of lions, tigers, and bears, but I'm scared of loving you.
I wish I could sing that song. I wanted to sing it so bad, but you all would hang up right away. One of my favorite songs right now. I am so not afraid of lions, tigers, and bears. I have strength. I have courage. I have God backing me up. So I am not afraid. I am also, although the song says, but I am afraid of love. I am not afraid of love. I am not afraid to be loved. I am happy about love. I am grateful for love. I welcome love because I am love, because God has given me love. He has poured it into my spirit. He has made me who I am. He has given me everything that I need. As I stated before in the beginning, I have the strength of 10,000 men. Why? Because God is backing me up. I can do anything and everything I want. With love, all things are possible. I have love. I am love, and I will be loved, and I will love. Thank you.
Awesome. Awesome job. Listen, she says she has a strength of what? You said 25 men?
10,000.
10,000. I'm sorry. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Awesome job. So the next person we're going to go with, I'm going to use Mr. Ryan. So Mr. Ryan, for you, sir, if you can defeat the enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm. And this is an old African proverb.
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that one more time? I apologize.
Yes, sir. If you can defeat the enemy within, the enemy outside can do no harm.
The inner me. Oh man, I can go 1,000,001 ways with this one. So thank you. And I'll say this, as I apologize for my background, but the inner me, really, it spills on a lot of what you're trying to accomplish, and the change that you need to take place in order to take hold of what Father's trying to give you. Is sometimes can be blinded. It can be hidden in your blind spots. So you need like-minded people around you who love you enough to tell you where you are when you are in error, so that you can see the blinded spots that you absolutely need to change in order to stop bleeding on what God is trying to get you to heal.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, man. Awesome job. Awesome job. Listen, if you can conquer that enemy within, man, the outside has no leverage over you. So the next person I'm going to use, awesome job, Mr. Ryan. The next person I'm going to call up is Miss Trivia Payne, I believe it was. Yes, Miss Payne. So are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
All right. Put me anywhere on God's green earth, I'll triple my worth. Jay-Z.
Okay, I like that. I don't like Jay-Z, but I'm definitely down with that quote. So, good evening, Toastmasters, fellow Toastmasters, and this distinguished guest. Put me anywhere on God's green earth. When I stop to think about that, I think about how resilient I am. I think about how passionate about life I am. I think about all the obstacles that I face from day to day. But if you put me anywhere on God's green earth, I will thrive, I will carry it, I will beat all odds. Because as the first speaker said, I'm not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to be defeated. Because for every day that God gives me an opportunity to get back up, then I have another opportunity to try again. So put me anywhere. Because as long as God is guiding my path, I'm able to become a better me every day. When I think about the quote that Ryan just got finished speaking of, I think about the within me. Everything within me has the capability to succeed. So once I get rid of those things that's in me that were meant to tear me down, the out of me, because I'm stealing everybody's quotes and songs, the out of me is going to excel far greater than anybody in this world could ever think of. Having God by my side, I'm able to defeat, I'm able to beat, and I'm able to master all of those things that were meant to kill me.
I love it. Awesome job. Awesome job. Great job, Miss Payne. All right, so next up we have Mr. Tyrone Thorpe. Are you ready, sir?
Affirmative.
Awesome. All right, for you, I have our lives begin to end the day, I'm sorry, the day we become silent about things that matter. Martin Luther King.
There is a great deal of truth in that statement, and it's not an esoteric one. When you hold something that matters within to the point where it never comes out, it eventually dies inside of you, and its dying accelerates your dying. Things that matter need to be cast out and they need to be addressed. They can't be held in for too long because if you hold something in too long, you will have what you call ruts, and then you'll have rots, and then you have death. A slow motion vegetation followed by an explosion of almost always, why didn't I act sooner? Things that matter need to really matter, and not just that little drop that's in our head matters. Matters as in, okay, this is something that needs to occur and action needs to be taken. So let's take the action. And if it's something that's critical, it's not going to stay inside for too long because if it stays too long, you're going to explode and go nuts. So make things matter when they do, because if it's a true matter, it will matter.
Awesome job, sir. Round of applause for that. Awesome job, Mr. Tyrone. So we have Mr. King. Mr. King, are you there, sir?
Ta-da.
All right, awesome, man. Let's go. So you are the last one. And your quote is, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Eric Thomas.
Repeat it again.
When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
All right. Thank you. I've been a paramedic for several years, and I've seen exactly what it looks like to want to breathe when you can't. So many people who have disabilities from whatever circumstance they're in have this issue of gasping for air. Success seems to be just a word. To succeed can be a confusing thing, but when you look at it from an esoteric mindset, you may hear someone say succeed, and you're like, why would I succeed? Maybe I suck pumpkin seeds. But to succeed takes a mindset that goes into a deeper consciousness, a better understanding that to succeed, to be successful, you have to have the same power, the same energy in you, that which is the within kingdom, to step forth and suck that air in and release. So know when to breathe and know how to breathe by being guided through divinity. You should be cool. That's what I feel like I am. Blessings, family.
My man, my man. Give a round of applause, guys. Listen, I just want to say first, that was an awesome table topics, man. Each presenter, you guys did an awesome job. Thank you. At this time, I'm going to turn it back over to our Toastmasters for the evening, Miss Eva.
Thank you, Dom. What an interesting topic because it is Black History Month. That really enlightened us on a lot of areas of our life that we deal with. Well, the road has come to an end for me as table topic master. At this time, I will be turning it over to our general evaluator, and that will be Miss Shauna Stepp Jones. Miss Shauna.
Thank you. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and distinguished guests. My name is Shauna Step Jones, and I am the general evaluator for our meeting tonight. And as the general evaluator, I'm going to just evaluate the overall meeting. But first, I'm going to call for the reports from the speech evaluators, the timer, and the all-counter grammarian. So first, I would like to bring up Miss Natasha Brown. She will be evaluating Mr. Ryan Dunstan, and she will evaluate him within 2 to 3 minutes. Miss Natasha.
All right. Good evening, Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. I had the pleasure of evaluating Ryan Dunstan on this evening. Your second speech, Ryan. Can you come on video so we can spotlight you? Come
I'm
on
sorry.
now, bruh.
I'm sorry.
What
I'm
you
in the
doing?
dark. I'm in the dark. I'm in the dark. All right, my bad.
That's my brother, y'all. I can talk to him like that. I'm not gonna call nobody else out, all right? Okay, so you are here. I had the pleasure of evaluating you this evening. And like I said, it was a pleasure. Okay, let's just start with what you excelled at. Clarity, comfort level, eye contact. It's not easy to make eye contact, when you are on a virtual screen, unless you have practice. You're looking at the camera instead of people's faces, but what I've seen you be able to do is look at the camera, but then also still look around to be able to engage with people. So I think that was awesome. Your topic, it educated us in a way that was not esoteric. Like we didn't need to pull out the definitions because the things that you were speaking of, you gave us definitions, you gave us examples, you gave us facts. One thing that I would say that's a stretch goal to that is to let us know where the facts came from if it wasn't from your personal experience. So let us know where you got the information from, and just so that we can stay knowledgeable. All right, you gave personal stories, facts, definitions. That goes into my next thing. You are a storyteller, like conversationalist. Like when you speak, it just flows like you're having a conversation with people, just trying to enlighten them with your knowledge. Plant those seeds. That is the way that you speak, and that is a type of speaker, the storyteller. What I would say that you could do to elaborate on that gift or to develop that gift is one of the feedbacks from your first speech to add a little structure to it. You have so many nuggets that we could grab and could take in, but I want you to think, what do I want them to leave with? Is it a call to action? Is it something that I really want to plant into their mind, and plant that seed? Figure that out first. Then think about 3 ways, the 3 points that you can speak on that can drive that message home. And then your intro just kind of lead us into that. That's not the only way that you can formulate a speech, but that will help us to create a flow and stay engaged with you throughout the whole time. All right. A stretch goal, stand up and use your space. I saw you using your hand gestures and I loved it because I love intentional hand gestures. Hand gestures really add emphasis to your speech without even having to do it. You don't have to have a voice variation to have your hand go up and down to show people that you mean up and down. You know what I mean? But you were a little restricted from what I could see because you were trying to stay inside of the screen. So I would say practice, put your device up somewhere, see how you can walk around on a Zoom screen and use your hand gestures so that you can drive home those points that you were intending to drive home even more than what you did already. All right, so that's what I have. It was a pleasure to hear from you, to be motivated and inspired, and I look forward to you speaking again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Natasha, for that evaluation. Next, we're going to call up our second evaluator, Mr. Robert Tyree, and he will be evaluating Mr. Olio Samuels.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters, distinguished guests. Give me 1 second. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Gotcha. Olio, hey, I'm gonna get right to the point because I think I'm gonna need more than 3 minutes, so I do apologize. I want to make sure that this is precise. And my tone might sound a little different today because I really feel like you can win your category, right? But I got to be real about some points that I'm going to speak about. So also, if everyone's listening who has done speeches or that are going to do speeches for the contest, right? This might be helpful. Olio, your title of your speech was "Build the Railroad to Your Dreams." I think that was an amazing speech. I want to show you what I'm putting down on the screen, right? And it's like an old school flow chart for an outline, right? And this is going to be key because 50% of the grading, right, and the rubric is structure. So when you're in a contest, right, they're going to be picking apart your speech, right? And structure is going to be so important, right? So you have your introduction, right, which is your title, and you kind of already done it, right? You introduce what you're speaking about. Perfect, right? Your next 3 points have to be aligned and have to support your introduction or your thesis statement. Has to be strong. The main thing is, right, the supporting ideas in between those 3 points have to all flow and support each other, right? Also supporting the main topic, and then those topics got to support your thesis or your introduction. And I got some examples on how you can do it. You gave a lot of energy, a lot of information, but I personally didn't feel like it flowed the best. But it will though, because I have confidence in you. Olio, 2 questions, right? What is your goal right now, right? Rhetorical question. And guess what's the same question? Go get it. In order to be the best, I need you to be familiar with the rubric. We call it lesson planning backwards or lesson planning backwards lesson planning. I would tell you, right, to look at the rubric, right, and make sure that you're hitting all those points. And you have, but we just got to structure it differently. Your structure, your points. You had several points, and your points were plant a seed, what are you becoming, and acting on your dreams. Amazing points. But if I didn't write them down, I might not have remembered your points. So let's use an acronym. There's 2 acronyms I got for you, right? Seed or words for me, seed, time, and harvest. You spoke about those 3 things in your speech, and those are 3 things you can remember quickly, right? Got something better though. Acronym SET. And SET is setting, energy, and time, right? So you could have done, when you're building a railroad, make sure the tracks are set. Set means setting, energy, and time, right? Go into your speech. Those 3 things you can remember, right? But it's incorporated into your speech. Olio, you did an amazing job on using song quotes and your flowing. You have like this rhyme scheme that you do at the end of your speech, and that's you, right? But I think that if you separate it and space it out, so for example, your song or a quote should probably be in the beginning, right? It's a grabber. But if you incorporate a song and quote and your flow all at the end, it might be too much. Just my opinion though, right? Also, right, your effectiveness, you have to know your audience when you're going to this contest. So it's going to be different than Morgan State. So just make sure you're aware. I don't think you should change what you're doing, but just be aware of your audience. Your voice is always amazing, but I want you to be very intentional and plan it out when you're going to inflect your voice and when you're going to drop it. It has to be specific. Also, your language is 20%. So your word choice must be clear. So when you're speaking about you going to the hospital, right? Don't be drawn out, get to the point, right? But also get to the bottom line, right? Point and bottom line, same thing, I'm sorry. But get to your bottom line, right? But that story's gotta be clear. Also, I felt like your story could have been in your emphasize on your second point. So whatever you're doing with your story, make sure it's aligned with the acronym or point 1, 2, or 3. Overall, I think I gave you speech development, good, effectiveness, good, speech value, fair, physical, excellent, your voice, good, appropriateness, excellent, and correctness was fair. So hopefully it was helpful to you. I'm going to write down and give it to you everything that you need. But I just wanted to make sure that I gave you those things for your evaluation, sir.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Tyree, for that detailed and thorough evaluation. I'm now going to call our timer, Miss Rose Iliev. I'm sorry, our all-counter grammarian, Miss Rose, so that she can give her report.
Good evening, everybody. I'm your all-counter and grammarian. Can everybody hear me okay? Yes?
Yes, Rose.
Great. So then those that use the word esoteric, good job, congratulations. I tried to find out everybody, but I missed some of you. So if I didn't say your name, I'm sure you said it. I'll start off with Dominic. You mentioned you guys 4 times. You said all right. You said 3 times. I believe you said man a couple times in a row. You said twice. Guys, so twice. One of your table topics was you mentioned the word successful, but you said successful. Emphasize the C in that word. Otherwise, good job, Dominique. Natasha, as president, you said twice, and you said all right once. Good job on using the word esoteric. As the other role you played today as an evaluator, you said all right twice, 5 times, okay 2 times, and you all. Eva, I only heard you say alrighty. Good job. Angela, you said okay, you said hour in a row, and so. Ryan, you said 4 times, 2 times. And then during the speech, you said because of my childhood twice in a row. During your table topics, you said 3 times, and then you said that you need. Olio, I don't know what happened, but you started saying right a lot of times. So limit right. Actually, don't even say right. You said right 7 times, all right 3 times, and then you said that, mine. And then you said loose it. I believe you're trying to say loosen it. You also said okay, and so. Juliet Jones, I didn't hear any filler words, but you said cause. I believe you're trying to say because. Trivia Pain, I did not hear anything. Tyrone, I didn't hear any grammatical errors or filler words either. Good job on using the word of the day. And Mr. King, good job on using the word of the day. I didn't hear you say any filler words or grammatical errors. Shauna, I didn't hear you say anything either. Good job. And then Robert Tyree, I don't know if because you were trying to give Olio a detailed evaluation, but you were full of filler words. So you need to put the words right and in the trash can. And then your and ended up merging into all So please just pay attention to that and throw all your filler words out. Other than that, good job, everybody.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you so much. Love your report. And there's my Next, we're going to bring up our timer, Miss Angela Hamlin.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me okay? I just want to make sure that you can hear me
We can hear
okay.
you. It's a little feedback, but we're gonna make it work.
Okay, can you hear me okay? My report is for, I'm gonna begin with the speakers. Ryan's, Dunstan, their speeches was 5 to 7 minutes. You spoke 7 minutes and 32 seconds. Olio Samuels, your speech was 7 minutes and 15 seconds. Then I'm going to table topics. Table topics is for 1 to 2 minutes. Juliet, you spoke 1 minute and 23 seconds. Ryan, you spoke 55 seconds. Ms. Payne, you spoke 1 minute and 44 seconds. Tyrone, you spoke 1 minute and 9 seconds. And Mr. King, you spoke 1 minute and 55 seconds. For the evaluators, it was for Ms. Natasha. You spoke 3 minutes and 38 seconds. Next evaluator, Mr. Robert Tyree, spoke 4 minutes and 55 seconds. Overall, we did a good job on time and excellent speeches. Just continue to keep in mind what you have to say has impact and influence. So be very, very clear on what you're saying and then be cognizant of your time frame. That's my report. Back to the evaluator, Ms.
Thank you, Angela. Thank you for that report. So now I'm going to go into the general evaluation of the meeting. We started our meeting on time. We were prepared. We were in our breakout sessions, getting prepared. Everyone reported on time. So I want to thank everyone for contributing to our timeliness. Then we started our meeting with a wonderful theme by our Toastmaster, Miss Eva, who brought in the theme with I only just have a minute, 60 seconds, where she emphasized, or wanted us to probably emphasize the value of time, even 60 seconds. And I'm going to answer that question at the end of the evaluation. Then we went into welcoming our guest, Ms. Robin. We're glad that you were able to reconnect with us. We're happy to have you and we hope to see you again. Our meeting roles were explained very clearly, first by my girl Rose. And then once again this week, Angela, you came with the creativity and the agility, all while driving. You would definitely do your thing, Angela. Using the timing cues to celebrate Black history. I always love how you bring in that creativity. So don't stop doing that. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And our speeches. Ryan, you came with an enlightening speech on energy. You took me back to my esoteric Morgan engineering E=mc² days. And then you magnified how powerful energy is and encouraged us to be conscious of its value once again. So great job. Thank you, Ryan. And then Olio, as usual, you bring the thunder and the tunes. With the planting your seeds effectively. And so I thought both of these speeches were amazing and inspirational in bringing our community exposure to mindfulness, happiness, goal setting, and just aligns with our theme overall on the value of time and suggestions for investing our time wisely. So thank you both for your amazing speeches. Then we went into the table topics with Dom, where he challenged us to all practice our impromptu speaking by expressing ourselves using popular quotes. So thank you, Dom, for that. I appreciate you for that. We used the word esoteric multiple times by all of our members, which is great. That's going to strengthen our vocabulary and give us diverse ways of using, new words. Things to be mindful of in terms of the meeting. The only thing I could think of is we need to remember to tell our speakers to pin the timer so that our speakers are aware of their time and they can see those great cues that Angela has been flashing for the past 2 weeks. So overall, I enjoyed this meeting. This is my second week as general evaluator. I'm getting more comfortable evaluating, taking down notes, listening effectively, and just hopefully I keep you all engaged. As far as there go the so they go. But the theme, what would you do with 1 minute? So only thing I could think of was if I had 1 minute to get on to take the stage today. I sat in a room for about 50 minutes to try to get on the stage for 1 minute just to give my input on self-made. If you're self-made, the topic was if you are self-made, are you self-made if you come from wealth? And so it was an interesting conversation from different perspectives, those who were wealthy and those who weren't. And so I wanted 1 minute just to take the stage so they can hear my thoughts and wanted to contribute to that. So that's what I have as far as what I would do with my 1 minute. That's today. Now, tomorrow I might want to answer that differently. But overall, I enjoyed the meeting. I hope you all enjoyed it. I hope you all invite others to come and participate and get loved on and share this positivity that we exude in our meetings every Monday at 7 p.m. So with all that, I'm going to turn this back over to our Toastmaster, maybe. Thank you.
Great job, great job, great job. This meeting was really exciting and fun, and I'm so proud of you, Shauna. You are truly growing in grace and giving good detail of whatever task you take on. You know you my model anyway, right? All right.
Thank you.
Oh boy, this was awesome, awesome, awesome. I will turn it now to Trivia Payne. Trivia Payne.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Welcome. I agree. This was an awesome meeting. And I just want to take this opportunity to allow our visitors to come off of mute and tell us who you are, why did you come? And if you haven't been here for 30 days or more, we welcome you to come off of mute as well.
Oh, hello, my name is Dawn Harrison, and I'm visiting today because I would like to join Toastmasters so I can improve my public speaking.
Awesome.
All
Awesome.
right.
Thank you. Okay, anyone
Welcome,
else?
Dawn. Hey, thank you.
Awesome. Anyone else? You haven't been here for 30 days or you are a visitor? Awesome. So I'm going to turn this back over to our president, Madam President.
I just wanted to say something real
okay.
quick. I appreciate it. Thank you so very much. I have been working on developing a course curriculum. At the same time, I've been invited to speak and make presentations, which has to be put together by next week. So I'm glad to be a part of Toastmasters. I've been missing, I think, maybe the past 2 weeks, and I do apologize for that. But so many things are kind of happening around me, and with me being with Baltimore County Schools as essential personnel, when it comes time for the snow, everything kind of throws me off. And I'm going to concentrate on not being thrown off when situations step in that I am responsible for. So I give thanks, and it's been a pleasure, and it's always a pleasure to be with you all. With that in mind, I wish you love, and if I disappear before it's over, it's only because I got a Blog Talk Radio program to do tonight.
Awesome. Congratulations. We are always excited to have you here, Mr. King.
I'm honored.
Okay. And I don't want to rush things. So if you were waiting and you're like, I'm a guest, but I'm a little bit afraid. You have a few minutes to decide if you want to introduce yourself. And in the meantime, I'm going to turn it back over to our Toastmaster of the evening.
All right, I see Robin. Good to see you, Robin. You want to say something?
Well, I wasn't sure if I should speak again since I said something at the beginning of the meeting, but my name is Robin Joyce, and I was a past member of the Morgan State Toastmasters chapter, and really, really enjoyed that time there. And I got life every time I came to the Toastmasters class. I did move to Upper Marlboro, so coming there was a challenge. But now that you guys are online, I'd like to shift my energy into things for self-care. And one of those things is getting rid of this foggy brain by using my speaking voice and organizing speeches and thoughts just so that I can present them and stay abreast of my ability to speak in front of groups of people. So I do plan on continuing my visits. I do have several things happening over the next couple of months, 2 months, that may have these first couple of months a little sketchy, but my intentions are to rejoin on a more consistent basis. So I look forward to seeing everyone. It was an amazing meeting, a motivating meeting. It was no doubt that I needed to sign on today for the words that were provided. So thank you for pouring into me and allow me to be a part.
Thank you so
girl.
much.
You know we
Miss,
miss you.
I'm sorry, Miss E, but before you go, Venti, I believe that's her name, has something to say or hand
Yes.
raised.
How you doing? I don't know if you can. I'm not camera ready, so don't judge me, please. But it's actually Beyonce. I was in Toastmasters a few years ago when I was working for HSBC in Capital One in Chesapeake, Virginia. I actually held the secretary position. Olio actually invited me to come to the Toastmasters because I was asking about how I can be a part of it. Do I have to pay any money or what do I need to do? Because I essentially got through it the first time through my job, but I did enjoy the conversations and the quotes that you actually went through and how it was presented. And after watching how critical you guys are of each other, I know that this may be the right group that I want to be a part of. So yeah, if you would have me, I definitely want to join. I like the energy. What's wrong, honey? You all right? Thank you.
You said critical. We call it constructive criticism, darling.
Absolutely. I mean, just saying.
We give good feedback with love underneath.
Yes, ma'am.
Like a cherry on top. That's what we do here. Because if we don't tell you the truth, you'll never grow.
Absolutely. And that's why I like it.
Thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.
Yes, ma'am.
Anyone else? Did we miss anyone? We didn't miss anyone?
Well, I'm just wanting to just jump in real quick with my 1 minute. And with that 1 minute,
King, 1 minute now.
with that 1 minute, what I want to do is I want to absorb the love of God so that it can radiate throughout the world. Just in that focus, just to embrace it, just to embrace others because of it. That's what I want to do with that 1 minute. That's all I've got.
And we receive that, King. We love it. We receive it. It'll take us through the week, okay? All right, Mr. Robert. Tyree, do you have an educational corner for us, or you gave us the educational corner already?
No, I got one, but I don't know what to say after King. I thought I had.
Yes.
And this 1 minute, I'm about to give this educational corner. So I'm about to do. Now, if I had 1 minute, I think I would just take that whole minute just to reflect over life and how amazing he is. So that was good, King. I don't know.
How amazing life is?
I don't know, girl. Listen, let me go. All right, guys. I'm gonna be quick with the educational corner. I just dropped the link inside of the chat, and I normally don't. I use different links, but I was thinking about this scenario, and I really believe that one of the greatest basketball players is Kobe Bryant. There's Michael Jordan, then Kobe Bryant, then LeBron, but Kobe. There's something phenomenal where he used to study MJ's moves. He's a mirror image, so everything he does, fade away, step back. So I wanted to figure out, what do the greatest speakers do? Well, let me show you. All right. The title of the link is called "Preparing for a Speech." Now you can read this and you can do it yourself, but I decided to ask some questions to the group that you don't have to answer, but answer when you get home. Okay. So the first topic is organize your speech, right? And my question to the people is, do you have transition words in your speech? So when you're organizing your speech, just make sure that you have transition words such as first, second, third, finally, so we can kind of understand the flow. The second bullet point is practice and rehearse. How many times do you practice your speech before give it. Brian Upshaw, he was a member of MSU, he still is, said he would practice his speech every opportunity that he had. So while he was talking to his family, his loved ones, his mother, he would always try to incorporate his into that conversation. So how many times are you practicing your speech before you give it? The next bullet point is become familiar with the stage. So my question to you is, have you set the stage or the atmosphere for your speech? You can do this with introduction, or is your energy right at the house, at your environment, in your space, a cubby? Just make sure it's right. You might need a candle. Make sure you have a glass of water nearby, but just make sure you set the energy and the stage. The next bullet point is choose comfortable clothes to wear, and how relaxed are you with your speech? Not talking about clothes, but talking about your speech. My friend gave me these 3 words anytime he's speaking. He said he always relax, rest, and reassure. So these are words that he uses every single time before he's about to speak. He's going to relax that I'm not going to be nervous. I'm going to rest in his presence. I'm pretty sure that every time he gives a speech, he's going to give glory to God, and also reassure that he's been studying and practicing all this time. His speech is going to be amazing. And the last thing was visual aids. How can you add to your speech? So some questions you can ask yourself as you're preparing to be that multi-millionaire, Shauna, in Clubhouse, or when you're ready to give your speech internationally around the world. That is my time. That was more than a minute, but I tried, y'all.
Well, we thank you for that information, Mr. Educator. And it will come back to me. At this time of the meeting, my name changes. Many of you know what it changes to. Some of you that are new may not know. It changes to Miss Red Bottoms. And it changes because if you know anything about ladies' shoes, Red Bottoms cost money, and so does this club. We're coming up on our renewal, which March the 30th, everyone that's a member now have to renew. It's just a small fee of $50. $45 go to the international and $5 for our club to continue to pay for lovely meetings like this. If you want to learn how to become a member and you need a membership application, put your name and your email address in the chat, and our membership, Ms. Trivia Payne, will get back with you and you will get an application. At this time, we're in February. February's dues are $15 plus $5. If you're new, that's $20. Keep in mind, if you join between February and the end of March, it will be a small fee and you have to come back again by April 1st to pay $50 again. But you can come back and just be a part of the club, listen. Some things you can participate in. You won't be able to participate in being a speaker unless you're a paid member. But as you saw tonight, table topics is one of the things that you may participate in, just to give you that right on the spot, 1 to 2 minutes. Keep that in mind. But if you want to join, just put your information into the chat and Trivia will get it. And I will turn it back over to our president, Madam President Natasha Brown. Thank you.
Hey y'all, how you doing? Okay, so I was actually just setting up the breakout room because I got some amazing news in my DMs. Okay, talking about I'm joining a family and want some applications. So I am opening up the room right now so that you two ladies can go in with our VP of membership and she can answer the questions that you have regarding membership. And they're in there now. If everyone else, let me look at the screen. We all family in here? Somebody else need to go in there? It looks like families in here. Okay. So now we are going to transition into roles for the next meeting. February
15.
15.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. So here we go. All right. So before we get into that, let's say bye to the people. Okay. Thank you so much for visiting us for our first YouTube session. If you were joining us live, thank you so much. We love you. If you are watching the replay, still love you. Tell your friends, share the link. Be with us next time.